Hey guys.
Hey everybody. Oh, it's so much fun.
It is.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome back, hopefully.
To the podcast of Thank God I'm Atheist.
Yeah, it's nice. Thank God I'm Atheist. Of course, can be found at Twitter, or on Twitter, at TGI
Oh, yeah,
Atheist.
we've got new features this week. We've got ways in which you may follow and or contact us.
Yeah, and I am up to 10 followers on Twitter. Yeah. Congratulations to me.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, it's a lot of fun. I've never really tweeted before, but
we're getting all tweety up in this.
Yeah, I'm doing the retweets on stuff I like.
Nice.
I'm coming up with stuff to talk about, and I think it's fun. And then of course you can email us.
Yeah, that's new too.
This is new. You can send emails to podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Wow, that sounds so official.
Yeah. Hello. It's our own URL. It's our own domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a domain.
Domain. That sounds crazy.
Ooh, and tell them about the newest and latest, greatest feature of the Thank God I'm Atheist podcast.
It's hardly the new, although it is the newest because we literally just set it up.
But it's awesome.
This one's awesome. We've set up a voicemail.
You can call
telephone
us.
number. You can call us at 424-666, just for fun, TGIA, which is 8442. So the number is 424-666-8442. And what
TGIA,
that's for,
of course, stands for Thank God I'm Atheist.
Yeah.
In case anyone didn't get that.
Yeah. And so what we're looking for here is we're looking for feedback.
Yeah.
We want to hear how we're doing.
Yeah, sure. Tell us, if we're right on the money on something, let us know. And if we're way off base and offensive, then all the better. Let us know that too. But here's the one thing I wanted to say. Do try to be specific. None of this general, you guys are haters or you guys suck, or you're welcome to say that we suck, but tell us why. Give us a little specific on that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then of course, so we want the feedback, but we also want this to be available to our listeners as a place where maybe they could sort of join the conversation. Now, of course, it's not live. You won't be talking to us or anything like that. But it's a place where you could call in and rant.
Yeah.
There's something that you've got a bee in your bonnet about.
Absolutely. Something. The other thing is, be warned. We may play your stuff on the podcast.
Yeah, that's part of it. If you call,
if it's good. Now it's not. We're not going to play anything if it's going to be long and drawn out and boring. And you've got if it's a treatise that's going to take up 15 minutes, we're not going to. We're not even going to listen to it, let alone play it. But if it's nice and to the point, even for us, against us, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we'll put you on.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, this is an audio thing, and guess what? Voicemail
is audio,
yeah.
And so that's why we kind of thought that would be fun. And also, I think it would be a great place for suggestions.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
if you have any, if you've got a topic that you think we should talk about, or if there's an article that you like, you can email us at podcast@thankgodimatheist.com, or call in. 424-666-TGIA. That's so much fun. I
think it's a lot of fun. And of course, that's what all of those, that's in particular also the email. You could send us feedback there, rant there, whatever you want.
Yeah,
but I do think that it'd be great to hear your voices. So that's what that's all about. So let's get to, what are we talking about today? We've got
so much stuff.
Okay. This one killed me. Okay. This one absolutely left me on. I found it on somebody's blog or maybe somebody's Twitter, and I followed the link. It went to some place that was kind of reposting a newspaper, article.
Do you know what the paper was?
It's the Telegraph in the UK, but it was just a reposting of it, and I was like, that's not from the Telegraph. And so I did a little Googling, and it is from the Telegraph. because I just couldn't believe it, because there is the official Catholic Church exorcist. Vatican. Well, he's the Vatican City exorcist. He is recognized by the church as an exorcist.
Hey, you know what? Somebody's got to do it.
I always thought that it was just... I never thought that it was real.
Well, of course it's not real, but they like to make it
No,
be
I
real.
mean it was a real thing that they
Oh, the
really
Catholics
believed.
actually did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't believe in exorcism, but
Well, you know,
that part was real. Just because it's in the Telegraph, it must be a real exorcist.
Yeah.
No. And so, anyways, he has come out against yoga. He says that yoga is evil. No, he's actually, let's just get the quote right.
Okay.
Practicing yoga is satanic. It leads to evil, just like reading Harry Potter. Okay, so the Harry Potter thing doesn't surprise me at all.
Well,
okay?
no, well,
it's like the Smurfs or whatever. Like I heard that stuff growing up.
Yeah, but what's great is that, like, in that quote, he's just taking it as a given that Harry Potter is... Like, we already know that Harry Potter's evil, clearly. What people don't know, the new news, the big idea here is that yoga is just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
No, that's not necessarily new. Apparently, back when Pope Benedict XVI was Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger.
A fancy guy.
Back in 1999, 6 years before he became Pope, issued a document that warned Roman Catholics of the dangers of yoga, Zen, transcendental meditation, and other Eastern practices.
Well, yeah, those things will get you thinking. Yeah. If you're not careful, you might actually stumble on a logical thought.
This thing, I mean, it just absolutely kills me. It is.
I just pulled up the Telegraph article, and it has a big picture, a very frightening looking picture of this guy
Holding a cross.
Father,
is that the one?
Yeah.
Well, he's 86 years old.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between like Yoda and I don't know. Maybe what's the guy's name? I'm trying to think. I don't know. Anyway, but what's great is that the other picture, it's got a little arrow, so you can arrow to the next picture. And then
I don't have that.
The next picture is just the Harry Potter trio, just Harry and Hermione and Ron.
What about someone doing yoga? That's not there?
No,
there's no third.
No,
picture?
they don't. No,
should be the Harry Potter kids doing yoga.
It's just good.
That should be the second picture.
Do downward facing dog, Harry.
All right. But anyways, and linked through this whole thing, of course, is just my absolute disbelief that this guy is an exorcist. Like,
oh my God.
Oh, well, I guess actually let's back up because we didn't really talk about why yoga is satanic.
Oh, yeah, I need to know.
It's because it leads to a worship of Hinduism.
Yeah. Oh.
And so I guess Hindus are satanic by default. And all Eastern religions are based on a false belief in reincarnation. And that second part is a quote. All Eastern religions are based on a false belief in reincarnation is what he says makes them also satanic.
So Satan is propagating the idea of reincarnation?
I suppose. I don't think he really understands exactly what yoga is or reincarnation.
Well,
you know,
I mean, the truth is that yoga came out of the Hindu tradition, but
that doesn't mean that you're like
no. Well, I mean, especially in America.
Oh,
nobody gives a shit about the religious aspects.
Oh my God! Somebody rings a little chimey little bell.
Oh my goodness!
God says namaste.
Yeah, exactly. They use Sanskrit words because it sounds all like fancy and
because Americans fall for that kind of crap.
Oh my gosh! I have so many yoga friends too. I have so many friends.
That's true. We better not completely diss on the yoga because I'll agree.
We're not
I dislike yoga as much as this guy.
See, I'm not a fan either. I don't like it at all. But and you know what?
I think it's satanic.
You know what's funny is that coming out as someone who doesn't like yoga can be every bit as traumatic for those around you as coming out as an atheist
Or gay.
or gay.
Yeah.
Literally, like every now and then I'll tell somebody, "Oh, I just don't like yoga," and they'll look at me like, "Well, it's more like, oh, you must have had a bad teacher."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you had a bad experience.
Right.
And it's like, no, I did. I gave it an honest shot.
In that way, they are responding kind of like religious folks do.
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
if you tell a Mormon that you didn't like your experience in the temple, they're like, "Oh, did you have a bad?" It's
No,
the exact same
I literally
line.
had that experience. I told a guy. So this is my wife's brother-in-law's father. Mm-hmm. Who, yeah, if you can follow that train, who was at a, we were having a big to do over the 4th of July. And he said, and we were in an LDS church because the family is big, and that's where they could have a free place to have a big luncheon. Uh-huh. And somehow it came up that I wasn't Mormon. He said something, and I was like, "Well, I'm not LDS." And he said, "Oh, what are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm an atheist." He said, "Really?"
You said that in an LDS chapel.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
And no lightning struck, strangely. But the point that I'm getting to is somehow it came out that I used to be LDS, but I'm not anymore. Mm-hmm. And he literally looked at me with this sort of sad, knowing look and said, "What happened?"
Oh, my God.
And I think I was this shitty. I think I literally said to him, "Oh, nothing. I just applied reason and logic, and that's what happened. That's what came out."
Oh, my God. I love it.
I really shouldn't. I was not very politic in that moment. But neither was he. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
What happened? I should have said my bishop raped me. That's what I should have said.
Yeah, well, I mean, you read the news today.
Well, that's true. It would have been too believable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't want to get completely away from this story. I did want to also mention that this priest, this 86-year-old priest, his name is Father Gabriel Amorth.
Yeah.
Amorth?
Amorth.
Amorth? We can go with that.
A moth. I'm going to call him a moth.
Yeah,
Morph.
Okay.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay. He is the honorary president for life of the International Association of Exorcists, which when I read that, I didn't believe. I actually had to double check the Telegraph art. Like at this point, I'm like, I'm not actually on the Telegraph.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Someone's managed to hack telegraph.co.uk.
Yeah. Apparently, he founded the IAE in 1990, and his favorite film,
and crowned himself the president for life.
Apparently. Somehow he became this honorary president. But this dude's favorite film is...
Wait, let me guess. 101 Dalmatians. No.
No, of course not. It's The Exorcist. It is The Exorcist.
It would have to be.
This has led me to look up...
So does he think it's authentic?
It's a documentary. He's pretty sure it's a documentary. Well, he says...
He's seen it all, this guy.
That people possessed by Satan vomit shards of glass and pieces of iron and have such superhuman strength that even children have been held down, have had to be held down by up to 4 people. Is what it says in this article. Like he believes it. He believes like the kind of stuff that is in The Exorcist. He believes it.
I just can't. And I actually I listened to another atheist podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm cheating on us.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry. But one of the things that they had a guy who, he wasn't Catholic, but he was an evangelical minister.
Okay. Who
would regularly cast out demons and all this stuff. But now he's an atheist. And so he's actually confronted people out of whom he has cast demons. And they've asked him, "Well, you did this for me. You cast this demon out of me. How can you be atheist now?"
Right.
But yeah, Now it's all. I mean, he has all these.
Does he describe the experience what is his take on being somebody who expelled demons?
Yeah,
as somebody who now doesn't even believe that's
we should get him on the show. Track that guy down. It's all psychological explanations in his mind anyway. But I don't know where else you can go, because here's the thing. Catholics who believe in exorcism believe it needs to be done in a certain manner, probably with some holy water and,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Bunch of Latin.
Well, if he likes The Exorcist.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Yeah. So,
right?
so that's my point. My point is that they can't acknowledge an evangelical's methodology for expelling demons, can they?
Oh.
So the question to me is, does this guy look at someone who claims to do it in an evangelical revival tent and go, that dude is bullshit.
Right.
That guy is crazy. That's not really happening.
Well, of course he does.
I mean, you've seen some of these videos of believers in revival tents or whatever. Just the entire crowd is crying or laughing or falling down in a specific direction. There's an amazing thing that can happen.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive, frankly.
Yeah.
How do you deny that's Jesus?
Well, they are. Well, I can deny it's not Jesus, but they are working themselves up into a lather.
They do get it.
And so and there's something about those. I mean, I've experienced sort of group phenomena like that,
absolutely,
where you're feeling the, for lack of a better word, but the energy that's being created by the crowd,
right?
And I don't believe that there's actually any sort of little waves that are running around or any sort of anything like that. But there's a vibe.
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
on.
There's a crowd.
And
yeah,
it gets you going. Well, and that's what all of this kind of stuff is based in.
Well, and, you got to think about
into that place.
Absolutely, and you got to think about God. He's talking about children here. They've probably worked children up into such a fright that the kids think they're being possessed. Well, yeah, and just play it out.
Well, yeah, and if you're your endorphins, right? Or you're not endorphins, you're adrenaline.
Yeah,
if your adrenaline gets going, I mean,
I'm sure
we've all heard about the mom picking up the car off her kid and then realizing that she broke her hands. Right. I mean, who knows if that really happens, but people do have moments of super strength,
right,
because of adrenaline.
Yeah,
so
it's an interesting thing. As someone who's into theater, I need to figure out a way to capitalize on that group mentality and
I bet you could.
On that sort of evangelical craziness.
Yeah.
But you have to make everybody believe it in order for it to happen.
One last thing about the International Association of Exorcists.
Yeah.
You can like them on Facebook.
Oh my gosh. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm serious. I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
What are they called?
The International Association of Exorcists. They are, they're tech savvy, those priests, and they got themselves a Facebook page.
They've got 157 likes right now.
That's all they have, really?
Yeah, but I'm totally liking them.
Oh my God.
I am a fan.
Oh my God. I think that's great. Should we skip ahead to Siri real quick and then go back to the other topic?
It seems like you're giving our listeners a peek behind how we do this. We're supposed to sound like there's nothing there's no organization to our process.
Well,
this is all off the cuff.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, listeners. Disregard that.
We'll exorcise that out of your brain.
Yes.
Later.
Well, here's everybody knows about the Siri, right? On the iPhone.
She's that nice lady in your iPhone that talks to you and tells you things.
It's pretty nifty.
You can ask her questions.
I've been able to play around with one.
Yeah.
And I have to say, as a lover of all things Android, it is a killer app. It is awesome. Everything if you haven't played around with it yet, everything you've read about it or heard about it, the personality that she has, how she can get a little sassy at times, all that. You kind of push her a little too far, she pushes back. all that stuff is in there. It's a pretty sophisticated system. When you search, it actually goes. It converts what you've said into text.
Yeah.
And does a search through a special service. It's a third-party service that, in fact, it's multiple third-party services that Apple's using that run these.
Right. And
so
you can do like complex things like find me a donut shop.
Yeah.
And it'll not only will it figure out what you want,
the syntax of it, find
right.
me. Yeah.
And it will then locate you. It'll check your location. It'll check donut shops that it knows are listed in your area, and it'll give you a direction. It's a pretty clever thing.
It's really, really, really clever. And just the fact that the language that you use is so conversational.
Yeah.
Because I've got a voice command thing on my Android, and it works really well, but you kind of have to know how it works.
Right.
You have to think like it's designed.
Yeah, your syntax has to be very computery.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not fun, and I find myself rarely ever really using it. But anyways, so Siri's awesome. Everybody loves it. Except apparently if you need an abortion.
Which I do.
You do? Yeah. No, Siri can't or has a very hard time locating abortion clinics.
Meaning she refuses outright.
Meaning, yeah, pretty much. Typically she'll respond back, sorry, I couldn't find any abortion clinics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I was playing around with an iPhone of somebody that I know here in Salt Lake, it didn't find any clinics in SLC. And believe it or not, abortion is legal here in Utah.
Yeah.
You can go get an abortion. It didn't come up with anything. Whereas, apparently, according to this article, in Slate is where I found this. If you are in Washington, D.C., she won't send you the directions to the Planned Parenthood that's on 16th Street Northwest. Instead, she finds a First Choice Women's Health Center, which is an anti-abortion crisis pregnancy center.
Oh, my God.
Over in Virginia, or Human Life Services, also one of these crisis pregnancy centers in York, Pennsylvania.
Let's see.
And there are places in D.C. that provide these services.
Okay, I'm a fan of Apple as a company in general. Not everything they do. There's plenty of things that they do that are bullshit. But
right.
I like their products. I'm an Apple guy. I've got multiple Apple products in my home.
Sure.
Why would they get political like this?
It's really weird.
Especially considering, did you know that if you ask Siri where you can bury a dead body,
yeah,
one of the Easter eggs is that it'll be like, what kind of place are you looking for? Do you want a rock quarry? Do you want a blah, blah, blah? It's like hilarious.
It's directed users to marijuana, to escort services.
Yeah. I mean, it's like all everything's cute until shit gets real.
Yeah. Yeah, right? It's really...
and that's the other thing is that it's playing into this public... I don't know. I mean, we'll do a whole show on abortion, I'm sure.
At some point, yeah.
Because, like just today, I'm listening to the radio. I'm listening to NPR.
Mm-hmm.
And on, what's that midday show that they do with Neil Conan? What's Neil Conan's show called?
Neil Conan, Talk of the Nation?
Talk of the Nation. So I'm listening to Talk of the Nation. They're talking about... What was the major topic that they were talking about? They were talking about American exceptionalism.
Oh,
this this brilliant concept that somehow America is inherently better than everybody else. And one of the things that so one of the people that they have is some senior fellow for the study of religion and the Constitution or something like that. So there's some institute for studying that, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, or the institute for trying to convince us all that all of the framers of the Constitution were really Christian when we know they weren't.
Right.
But yeah, this guy's talking and he's like, well, somebody else had made the comment that there are all these metrics are very clearly point that we can now say are definitively America is not exceptional. America is by many standards, falling way behind several other countries. And this guy is talking about how there are all these, slavery is a blight on our history, and how can we be exceptional with that? And we on the conservative side, most of us think that that abortion is an equal blight on our record and blah blah blah. And I just thought to myself, why do you have to go there? Like, but the truth of the matter is, now I'm getting into I have gotten on my soapbox.
Yeah.
You got me on my soapbox about the abortions.
Good. Go.
The damn abortions. Well, no, but I'm going to surprise you on this one, though.
Okay.
But not if you've read my blog. If you've read TGIA, and thank God I'm atheist.com, well, a long time ago, you would have read the thing that I wrote about abortion, which partly is that I sympathize with the pro-life people. I don't share their opinion, but I sympathize with the fact that they have, I think, a valid viewpoint, which is that they think people are getting murdered. And I don't think you can argue with that. You can't definitively say that's not a person being killed. You can say that I disagree with that point. And my viewpoint is that that's not a person until X.
Right.
But I mean, if you think that people are being murdered, I sympathize with that. That resonates with me. Because that's why this is such an intractable problem.
Right.
But we don't talk about it from that point of view. We don't talk about it like these are both really valid points of view.
Right.
We talk about it from the point of one side is right and one side is wrong, and one side's exclusively about every set of cells that are human is an alive person.
Right.
And the other side is you're infringing on a woman's right to choose.
Right.
But those are not the only two issues that are at play here.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I'm about to go a little off topic here, but my parents were in town for Thanksgiving
To have an abortion.
Yes. And we got to talking about a little bit about the politics.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea. But I was curious. I wanted to know what my dad thought of Romney, and I wanted to know what he thought of McCain.
Because he's Mormon.
Because he's Mormon.
Huntsman.
Huntsman, yeah. I heard exactly what I thought he was going to say. He'll vote for Romney. He doesn't really like him, but he'd vote for him, and he just can't stand Huntsman.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't get it. The Huntsman hasn't been able to get his narrative out, but whatever. Because anyhow, that's not what I'm trying to say here. But damn it, I just lost my train of thought. You were talking about
on abortion,
disagreeing and trying to. What were you just talking about? Dan?
Abortion and like how intractable the position is, and how we tend to polarize the argument.
Yeah. And so they started talking about, certain issues that they really respond to, like that immigration issue, which they're in Oklahoma. Okay. They don't have a lot of like immigration issues, but my dad is convinced that this quote unquote illegal immigration is what's bankrupting California and Arizona.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not saving their agricultural industry at all.
No,
it's just bankrupting
absolutely
them.
No benefit to their economy, and just a complete abuse of people and whatnot that's happening in order to benefit those. But anyways. But what he started talking about was that he believes that that these immigrants from Mexico who aren't documented are somehow starting to take advantage of the services that we have. Right? Their
kids are going to school on our nickels.
Kids are going to school, which there's no two ways around that one. That one just kind of has to be that. Yeah. But they also had this sense that somehow they're getting like welfare checks and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And I was like, well, if they're doing that, they're breaking the law. And so all you really need to do is enforce the law, because I don't agree that like somebody who isn't a citizen should be receiving all the benefits of our system.
Right.
You know? And
Mind
so like,
you,
but
the
I was like, you guys have the wrong argument, because when you start talking to a liberal the way you're talking to me, you sound racist. That's what a liberal hears when you start talking about these illegals and this and that,
right.
the Mexicans and everything. And I was like, you need to stop reciting the talking points that you're getting from wherever you're getting them, from your Fox News.
Right.
And you need to start talking from your heart, because as soon as you actually get to the issue that is bugging you, you can actually start to have a real conversation.
Absolutely.
But as long as you're just reciting those things, they're designed to polarize. They're designed to keep this division in our politics,
right.
because there are big corporations that are benefiting. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but Fox News benefits from a divided country.
Absolutely.
And so it is in their best interest to keep it divided.
Yeah.
And so
and that's how the news plays it out. I mean, the fact of the matter is that this country has decided, in large part, that they want news that agrees with their point of view.
Yeah, exclusively.
That's so. I mean, the polarization is present and accounted for.
You should read the side that you don't agree with. It's a laugh riot.
Yeah. No, the truth of the matter is that you should find something. This is why I can't This is why I can't watch television news. Period. There's none of it that I can watch.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it.
Can't watch that nice Brian Williams on Rock Center.
The
Rock Center.
I can watch Brian Williams when he's on The Daily Show,
right?
Because he's delightful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't watch any of it. Mm-hmm. I read the news on the webs, mm-hmm. and usually if I want news about us that I feel is unbiased, I will look for foreign news agencies, from the UK or even Al Jazeera or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Al Jazeera is actually really good news.
It really is. I love Al Jazeera.
All right.
It's not like I don't come to all of them with the same skeptical eye. It's just that at least it's not playing into one side or the other.
Yeah. All right.
In that way.
Yeah. Well, Dan, there's something that I've been bugging you that I want you to talk about.
Okay.
And
it's a great topic. The truth is, it's a fantastic topic. And what we're talking about is, my father passed away a couple weeks ago, and we've been talking about the idea of what it's like to be an atheist grieving. Mm-hmm. Or in an extreme situation. Mm-hmm. This is the concept of there's no atheist in foxholes.
Exactly.
Which I have atheist soldier friends who mm-hmm. hate that phrase.
Of course.
But I mean, but it is interesting because I've been to many, what are they called when someone's dead? Funerals. And
right.
And I've been to I dropped my pen. I've been to several funerals where you can see. Like the first time I ever went to a funeral with my in-laws, my parent in-laws, my wife's parents.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who are your in-laws?
Who are my in-laws?
I should have followed you instead of just giving you a puzzle.
Right. But the first time I ever went to, and they know that I'm atheist, and that's always kind of baked their noodle. They don't get atheism at all.
Right.
I could tell that Andrea's mom was puzzled, was thinking about, well, how does he deal with a loss?
Yeah.
When he doesn't believe that he'll see them again.
And there's nothing there to comfort you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so I don't know how all religious people deal with a death in their family or whatever.
Well, I think more religious people actually deal with it than do like the Mormons.
Yeah, the Mormons don't
deal with
that. They don't mourn in their, at least outwardly, at all.
No.
The only thing they talk about is how happy,
mourn, like vocally, and
it kind of is.
It really is.
All they talk about is how lucky they are that they know that they'll see. They know. By the way, Mormons don't believe things; they know things.
Right.
That's just sort of their verbiage. But they know that how lucky they are that they know they'll see this person again, and how great it is to have an eternal family. And nowhere in there is like, I have to live for, however many more years on this planet, and I don't get that person in my life ever again.
Right.
There's no place for that in their dialogue. And I just feel like, but is it helping them? I don't know. I mean, it might actually be a crutch that they can lean on.
It definitely is a crutch. It's a nice little, process that they have there that they're able to.
I just don't
really push away. But no, I
feel like like they gloss over something, that they repress something.
I haven't lost a close family member, but I lost a close friend. Well, we both lost a close friend a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that grieving process, I have to say that I know that those emotions would have been felt, but I would not have been allowed to express them if I'd still been Mormon.
Did you ever have a moment? Did you ever have a moment where you wanted to revert back to a God belief?
No.
Me neither.
And I have to say that, like, during the whole thing, I was kind of, because it was like the first big, like, truly dramatic life thing, like that had happened.
Well,
in
he was
my
young.
life.
He was 28, 29.
Oh, he was like 25 when he passed away.
Really?
25, 26.
Yeah, mid-20s.
Yeah,
just young.
Really, really, really sad. And so there was all this sadness, all this grief,
right?
And I was just saying that it was like the first really big thing that happened in my life, like that, after I had really accepted that I was atheist, and I kind of said that like I talk about my homosexuality, accepted that I was homosexual. when I finally
have you accepted you as your personal Lord and Savior? That was it.
Oh, hey,
you see what I did there?
Yeah, that's nice. I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. You should.
No, and I remember being kind of having these realizations of, it was actually really comforting to me to realize that I was dealing with Eric's death in what I felt to be a very open and real and honest way.
Absolutely.
Rather than thinking about, instead of pushing away the grief like I had been raised to do.
This is exactly how I feel. I feel so much more comforted because I feel like I'm acknowledging the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that there's something just beautiful in that. It's painful. It's going to be painful either way, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Someone that you love is gone forever, and that's just going to be painful. But there's something beautiful just about saying, you know what? I know he's gone. I don't have any belief that I'm ever going to see him again. And just allow that finality to sink in. And just live with that.
Yeah.
And then you acknowledge, you take the universe at face value.
Yeah.
There's just something just comforting and honest and true about it.
And I think that it puts you in a place of really acknowledging the importance of the relationships that you have. Right? Because in Mormonism, there's kind of a second chance.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't resolve something with that person, you can resolve it in the next line.
Right, yeah. Or and that's an interesting thing. The other thing that you can't gloss over is if you fucked up with someone or something, if someone, if I hadn't made peace with my dad before he died, not that I had anything to make peace with.
Right.
But if there had been tension and I hadn't made peace, it's true that I would have to acknowledge that I don't get that chance now.
Right.
But I also get to say, well, he's gone. There's nothing more there. There's no there anymore.
Right.
There's nothing. I don't have any work to do with him except in me. And there's something nice about that too. Because I think the truth of the matter is that in our relating with any people on this planet, the part that you have to look out for is inside of you. It's not between the two of you. what happens between the two of you happens, but it happens because you have either looked out for the part of you that you're bringing to the table, or you haven't let it get away from you. I think, anyway...
Your own shit.
Yeah. My point, I guess, is that no matter what, relating comes down to you looking after you.
I absolutely agree with that.
And so, and being able to acknowledge life in this way points you in that direction.
Yes. Yes.
Does that make sense? Have I...
Points you in... Define the direction again that it's pointing you?
Just in looking inward.
Right.
Instead of looking outward for your problems, trying to solve your problems on the outside of you. Now I've taken this down a really long road, and I don't think I've adequately marked my trail on this. So I'm sorry if I'm confusing the hell out of all of you people. But my dad just died.
Yeah.
I've been using that all the time. It's a great excuse for whatever I do. No. The fact what I'm getting at is that if you is that, well, I don't know. You go back, re-listen to it like 10 times, and maybe you'll find where I was going.
I think I'm following you. Because I'm following you because I've been there. Again, not with a close relative, but I've been through the whole grieving thing, and I get it. We all have.
Yeah.
And so I'm not worried that people out there are gonna not follow you or anything. But we will listen to it before we post it.
Well, the other thing is, we've given you ways of contacting us.
Yeah.
If you want me to elucidate or make anything more plain, let us know, and I'll see what I can do.
Well, and I just think that it's such a powerful statement to be able to make, and a confidence in your worldview. When you go through these times, and you're so many days into into this process, into the depths of grief,
right?
And you realize, I haven't thought about God once.
No,
I haven't thought about all that religious crap once, except for, in the case of your dad's funeral, having to figure out, well, how are we going to appease all the Mormons?
Right. How are we? Yeah. And that was a trick because honestly, I didn't want, I find all of the God stuff so annoying that, I consider funerals not about the dead person, but about the alive people who are grieving. And so for me, I was just like, my sister's not Mormon anymore. My mother's not Mormon anymore. And to me, it was just a matter of, maybe I shouldn't have outed my mom. Don't worry, Mom. Nobody else is listening that knows you. But the fact of the matter is that none of us would take any comfort in a Mormon sermon. And that's what you get. When if you ask a Mormon to speak at a funeral, you get Mormon platitudes.
If you ask a Mormon to pray.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
You don't know, because they can turn that prayer into a sermon. Because Mormon prayers, like a lot of prayers, Christian prayers out there, are completely off the cuff. And they can go on as long as they want, and until they say, in the name of Jesus Christ, Amen,
they got the open mic.
Nobody can interrupt. So, but I think we did learn through the course of this a really good lesson about dealing with Mormons,
which is
you let them pray.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. My whole thing was I was going to give them one nod to my dad's religion, and I asked his bishop, who expected to do something for the thing, I asked him to come and say one prayer.
Yeah.
Now, Mormons are used to two prayers. They're used to a prayer at the beginning and a prayer at the end. I didn't do that. We gave him one.
Right.
But I feel like that was serviceable.
Right.
For everyone involved.
Well, and yes. And then what solidified this observation was the fact that Thanksgiving dinner with my parents over with you and your wife and your mom and our friend Zach.
Yeah.
Zach had the genius idea of asking my dad to say grace.
Right.
And that was enough. Because you know how awkward they would have felt digging into a meal in somebody's home
Right.
without actually like saying a little prayer over it.
It's such
and
a
it
weird thing.
diffused everything.
Although, it's funny because me and my wife have had her parents over to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I like to do as a host to make them feel comfortable is that I say, hey, we don't pray in our house, but you may if you'd like. We thought I always feel like that's nice, right? That's an invitation.
That's a way of acknowledging them, making them feel comfortable.
You practice your thing. We don't do it. They never have taken me up on it. I find that bizarre.
I wonder why they haven't.
I don't know. Maybe it's the devil's home and they don't want to. Honestly, I'm baffled by it.
Pearls before swine.
They always say they're always like, no, that's fine. Okay. Huh. But what's really funny is that even when it's just me and my wife, and neither of us, we're both atheists. If we sit down at the table to eat, and it feels like a formal meal, which doesn't happen all that often, right. I'll be honest. There is that moment where we both, having been Mormons, feel like, oh, we're supposed to pray now. There's always that weird, moment of just like, there's a little hesitation, and then you move on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
You can just say, bon appetit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, that's what, when the French sit down or when the Italians sit down, bon appetito, they...
Si.
Yeah.
Davvero.
Certo.
That's Italian, people. We're speaking some of that Italian.
Yeah. But anyways, well, why don't we...
Should we talk about a movie?
Yeah, let's talk about a movie. I think this is a topic that we should come back to from time to time.
Movies?
No, the
prayer.
Prayer, atheism, grief, and the progress.
Yeah,
you know
what? One thing I want to think about is something, and put your brain on this over the next little bit and see what comes out. The concept of what is sacred. Because I don't think nothing is sacred. But what is sacred when you don't have... I don't
think that nothing is sacred, so you think some things are sacred.
I think some things might be sacred.
Okay.
But what is that? In our context, what does that end up meaning? Anyway... We'll let that bake in all of our noodles.
Sacred, yeah. Send us your thoughts on what the word sacred means.
Absolutely. Please join us in this conversation. What do you think about sacredness? You can. We'll have our little.
Stay tuned for an update about how you can get in touch with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So you and I saw a movie together this time.
Yeah,
this week.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was
totally out of the blue,
and it was.
The Muppets.
The Muppets. Not the Muppet movie.
No. It's the new Muppets with Amy Adams and Jason Segel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what did you think, Dan?
Well, okay, so I'm a huge Muppet fan.
You're a Muppet nerd.
I am a Muppet nerd, but only before Jim Henson's death am I a Muppet nerd.
Okay.
The minute that happened, I stopped caring about the Muppets very much.
Do you know what year he passed away?
Yeah, it was 19...
Well, you know which films were after him.
Yeah. Well,
was that like the Muppet Christmas Carol, or was he still around for that one?
I don't feel like he was. I think the last one that I can think of that he was a part of was Muppets Take Manhattan.
Okay.
But I mean, we can look that up.
Yeah.
It's not that
really
important.
But I was just wondering on this list.
The first three movies, Muppet movie, Great Muppet Caper, and Muppets Take Manhattan, they had a heart to them, and a quirkiness to them that they haven't been able to replicate by any means since. And this movie was no exception to that. But that said, still a very cute movie. I thought I had fun. Did you notice? Okay, so you know that the music was written by Brett from Flight of the Conchords, Brett McKenzie, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
So that song, "Am I a Man or a Muppet?" I have to say his signature was so all over that song.
The sort of the back and forth of the am I just a Muppet man? Or am I
if I'm a man, then I'm a Muppet of a man, and if I'm a Muppet,
totally out of
then I'm a very manly Muppet. Yeah.
The director James Bobbin. Yes. He directed and wrote for the Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, I mean, that would explain why sort of that involvement.
Yeah. Anyway, I liked it. What were your thoughts? Any thoughts?
Adored Amy Adams.
Oh, well, she's just adorable.
She's adorable. Big, wide-eyed, small town girl. You know, it was cute. She did a good job with that.
Is she
that
relegated
innocence.
to that as an actress?
I don't want her to be.
Does she have any more than that?
She might have been typecasted.
Yeah, but does she have more than that is my question.
I don't know.
I'd like to see.
She seems to be good.
Amy Adams.
She seems to bring a lot even to that.
I
seems
agree.
More layered than
it's a rich
somebody who's just been typecast.
Absolutely. I think she can take what could just be a throwaway thing and add layers and depth that I think a lot of actresses aren't able to pull off. And that Jason Segel's not able to pull off in this movie.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, I was going to get to that. I thought Jason Segel was kind of difficult to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you can... And I think he was, like, in I Love You, Man, I thought he was delightful.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought he was... So I don't think
I've enjoyed him in other films.
I don't think
Absolutely.
that he's bad. I just think that he can't pull off what Amy Adams can pull off, which is that sort of really going all the way with the cutesy, all the way with this almost cartoony innocence, and still imbue it with a humanity that she can do.
Yeah.
I think Amy Adams needs to do a porno.
And just imbue it with all this humanity
just to take the edge off of it. Just well, do you remember? You may not remember this, but you're a film guy, so you may be the one person I know who might know about this. Okay. Did you ever see the movie or hear about the movie S.O.B.?
No.
Okay, S.O.B. was Blake Edwards.
Okay.
He's the guy that directed all of the Pink Panther movies back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's about a director who goes nutso.
Okay.
And about this director's wholesome actress wife. And of course, at that time, Blake Edwards was married to, what's her name?
Blake Edwards.
The Hills Are Alive. Mary Poppins.
Yeah, Julie Andrews.
They were married. Julie Andrews plays the woman.
In this film.
She basically plays this bizarre version of herself in this film. And the climax of the whole film is when she rips off her top and shows her boobs.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No
and
way.
she actually does it. It's a full-on legit
really?
thing. Yeah. Oh my God.
So we need Amy Adams to do that at some point.
Amy Adams needs to fucking rip her top off for no reason, like gratuitous breast showing.
Well, and then just with the three leads in this film, as far as human being leads, Chris Cooper also.
I'm on the fence about
normally such a fan of his. Like I normally really like his performances.
Yeah, but it wasn't fair to ask him to do a rap.
The rap is where I lost it. Yeah, up until that point, I was willing to kind of write off a lot of the stuff as kind of these Muppety sort of, when he's like, what's the thing, nefarious laugh, or what is it?
It's not nefarious. It's maniacal laugh.
Maniacal laugh.
Maniacal laugh.
That was pushing it for me, but I was willing to go there.
I don't think they pulled off those moments.
They didn't pull off those moments, but I was willing.
You were willing to give it to them.
To just say, okay,
yeah,
okay,
me too,
whatever, okay,
and then
not
the
great.
rap.
But then the rap happened, and I just couldn't handle it.
Oh yeah. Oh! I have to go off on a little tangent here because I saw, and I know that we're like hitting where we normally hit in terms of time, but I saw.
No, that's fine.
I saw the funniest thing on TV, on like the Salt Lake City, like channel. It's not cable access, but it's like the Salt Lake.
It's the government channel.
It's like the government channel.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this wasn't on the government channel. I was switching back and forth between all the worst channels I could find because we were getting some juicy, awesome stuff on it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I found was Moms on Film or something like that. Moms on Movies.
Okay.
And you can find them online. And I literally went to them online. It's these Mormon moms. I think they're out of Spanish Fork, Utah.
It's not BYU TV, is it?
It could have been, but I don't.
They're doing a lot of original stuff right now, and they are. That's where the Food Nanny is.
Oh yeah. Okay, but let me tell you something. These ladies are like ostensibly it's just another movie review show or whatever. So I go to their website. I missed most of their show, but they fascinated me. So I went to their website just to see, and I clicked on some of their videos that are on their website, and they're not reviewing the movies. They're talking about, well, the trailer looks like this, so I don't think I'm going to see it. What? No, I'm serious. They're reviewing the trailers. They're like, it's like instead of 2 thumbs up, they're giving it a, yeah, I think I'm going to go see it.
What?
This looks good.
What?
No, I'm dead serious.
These are the people who call in to whatever station. Okay, because like UEN, apparently, UEN is the Utah Education Network. It's a TV station. They are, they show, you know, a lot of stuff that like any PBS station would show. They're not PBS, but they show a lot of that kind of stuff. And they, if they accidentally play a program that has like the word damn in it, they get calls. They get calls about that. Okay. Like, and I guess like, I just kind of heard through the grapevine. It seems to be just kind of, it's just crazy to me, you know? And those are the women. Those are the ones who call. Yeah. They're the ones who like report these stations to the FCC.
But no. They're not these women, because these women, they actually like looked at a rated R movie, and a couple of them said they were going to see it. Oh, which Mormons don't go to rated R movies. So it's like, so that surprised me. I thought for sure that they would just.
That's wild. Okay.
By the way, if you go, I just tried to go to Moms on Movies. I Googled it, and the momsonmovies.net. It says the site's been taken down. So I tried to go to momsonmovies.com, and it pulls up. It's this domain has recently been listed in the marketplace, but it's got like 3 X's, and it's like adult movie downloads, and it's all these links to like XXX porno.
Did they get wait? They got hacked?
It's a placeholder. They never owned it. I'm guessing that this person, somebody got to it first, and now they're like,
that's hysterical. That's
holding
really
it for ransom. Oh my gosh, that's fun.
Well, anyways, the Muppets. Not.
What do you think? A go see?
Take your kids. It's got some good nostalgic Muppet moments, I thought.
Sure.
You know, sure. Seeing just the opening credits, the opening sequence of the Muppet Show from TV, but like on the big screen and totally high definition and everything.
If you can,
that was fun.
If you can remember the old Muppet Show, you can geek out a little bit about that.
There were some decent little moments that they gave to the old fans, I thought. But by and large, if you don't got the kids, they're just rent one of the old ones.
Yeah, get the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
And enjoy some lovely cameos.
Watch some old episodes.
Yeah.
Are they on Netflix, the old episodes?
Not that I know of.
Oh, that would be great if they were. Okay, so... Well, that brings us to...
What, the end?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, thanks, guys, for listening.
Have fun. If you want to stay in touch with us,
follow us on Twitter at TGIAtheist.
Email us at podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or send us a voicemail at 424-666-TGIA. That's 424-666-8442.
You'll be glad you did.